Here's an emotional, engaging story based on the video title. CEO discovers the janitor who secretly taught her daughter advanced math, that you can use for an approximately 40-minute YouTube narrative. I began with a compelling hook to instantly capture attention and included emotional depth, relatable characters, key challenges, resolutions, and a motivational closing, all in plain, flowing paragraphs you can expand into voiceover or script format. Imagine you're walking into a sleek corporate headquarters, gleaming glass, polished floors, walls lined with awards. Now imagine the person sweeping those floors has quietly changed the course of a child's life, and that discovery will shake one powerful CEO's world to its core. If you're here right now, you're about to hear a story that proves greatness can come from the most unexpected places, so smash that like button, subscribe, and let's dive into a tale of kindness, courage, and destiny. Evelyn Hart was the kind of CEO most people only read about in business magazines: smart, driven, unshakable. She had built her tech empire from nothing, sacrificing weekends, birthdays, and nearly every personal connection along the way. At home, her 9-year-old daughter, Emma, struggled with school. Math was impossible, numbers felt like foreign symbols, and each test brought fresh tears. Homework time became a battleground, and Evelyn often found herself torn between boardroom battles and comforting her daughter's heartbreak. Their evenings were quiet yet heavy with frustration. Emma didn't lack effort, only the guidance she needed. Evelyn offered hugs and reassurance, but she couldn't break down long division or fractions. She tried tutors, expensive ones, but Emma never clicked. On the surface, nothing seemed to change, until one afternoon when Evelyn left the office early to pick up Emma from school. When they arrived, the building was nearly empty. But there, near the elevator, stood Eddie, an older man in a faded janitor's uniform, mop in hand and a gentle smile on his weathered face. Emma ran to him before Evelyn could speak, waving a crumpled piece of notebook paper covered in equations. "Mr. Eddie helped me," she declared, eyes bright. Evelyn blinked in confusion, until she saw the numbers. Eddie had been staying late in the lobby, and using chalk on a forgotten board, he taught Emma geometry and algebra the way others might teach a favorite game, patiently, kindly, without judgment. At first Evelyn didn't understand. Why would a janitor spend his evenings helping her daughter? But as Emma explained how she finally understood something that had made her cry for months, Evelyn felt something shift inside her, a mix of awe and gratitude she hadn't expected. That night, Evelyn confronted memories of her own childhood, remembering classroom struggles and a teacher who once told her to aim lower. She realized then that confidence was often as important as knowledge, and that Eddie knew exactly how to give both. Determined to learn more, she approached him at work the next day. Eddie's eyes held stories, of years he spent studying math far beyond what anyone guessed, of nights solving equations just for joy, and of a young daughter he lost to illness years ago. Teaching Emma had been a way to honor her memory. But Evelyn's world wasn't easy. Her board grew skeptical when she appointed Eddie to lead a new mentorship program, and whispers spread that she'd lost her mind. Why bring a janitor into decisions that affect millions of dollars? They asked. Evelyn felt the old rush of conflict, the need to defend, to prove she was right. Meanwhile, Emma blossomed. Numbers became her friends, and for the first time she brought home an A+. Her laughter again filled the dinner table. One evening, when a major algorithm problem threatened the company's future, engineers wrestled with lines of code and complex formulas, without success. When Evelyn walked by Eddie in the hall, he simply smiled and asked, "Need a fresh pair of eyes?" At first she hesitated, but then something inside her whispered, "Yes." What happened next wasn't just a solution to a technical glitch, it was the moment the company recognized that brilliance isn't confined to titles or degrees, but often hides in passion and persistence. Eddie's insight saved the day. Board members stood in stunned silence, supervisors finally seeing what Evelyn had known in her heart. The fair-mindedness that Eddie showed Emma, believing in her when she doubted herself, was the same quality that unlocked solutions no one else could see. Evelyn watched her daughter beam as everyone gathered to celebrate Eddie's contribution. She realized then that leadership wasn't about ego or accolades, it was about lifting others, seeing potential where others saw none. This story carries a lesson that touches every one of us. No matter where you come from, no matter what your title, kindness and knowledge can change lives. Emma didn't just learn math, she learned to believe in herself. Evelyn didn't just gain an extraordinary advisor, she rediscovered compassion. And Eddie, once unseen, became a symbol of what it means to teach not just with understanding but with heart. So if this story inspired you, if it reminded you that every person has worth and hidden gifts, like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a reminder today. Because the world becomes a brighter place when we choose to see each other, not for what we are on the outside, but for the greatness we nurture within. If you want, I can also help you break this into a full script with timestamps or adapt it to match specific visuals from the actual video.